Hello, my lovelies. I am Madam Crystal Butterfly, and today we are going to be taking a look at a sweet little story called Intangible Hearts Forever by Elizabeth Akinnayi. Now, before I start telling you about this tale of family love, let's have a little chit-chat about the author. As of the making of this video, Elizabeth began her writing journey 3 years ago. She published her first book in May of last year. She also has a second book called Once Upon a Tale, which is an anthology compiled of different poems. She was inspired to write a story by one of her friends who wrote short quotes on a free writing app. He would share his quotes on Facebook, and she and the rest of their friends would all praise him for his writings. His quotes were funny, but they also had a level of truth that makes the reader desire to read more. When Elizabeth gave into her own interest in writing, she felt an inner force driving her to write every time she read one of her friend's quotes. One day, she grabbed a pen and paper and wrote her first quote. She wasn't sure about what she would write, but she still gave it her best shot, and that was when she developed a passion for writing. For Intangible Hearts Forever, her main source of inspiration was her father and her mentor. These are two figures in her life that stood by her and believed in her, especially her father. When the time came for her to publish her work, she was so excited to publish that she didn't feel a tiny drop of fear during the publishing process. Currently, Elizabeth is working on her second novel, which is a collection of short fiction stories with genres from fantasy, romance, crime thrillers, and erotica. These stories are a big move outside of her comfort zone, via her never creating anything like this before. Now, why does Elizabeth love the written word so much? Well, she feels that books are enlightening. Each story broadens a person's mind, making books a great tool to make humanity more enlightened beings. It's time to take a dive into this sweet little story of a father's love for his daughter. Lansstone discovers what it truly means to be a father, regardless of the emptiness created by the death of his wife at childbirth. Through his years of joys, sorrows, insecurities, sacrifices, and dedication to his daughter, he learns that true happiness cannot always be found in material things, but rather through living with integrity and loving fiercely in spite of negative circumstances. Intangible Hearts Forever is an inspiring story about a father's unconditional love for his daughter and their shared bond that transcends all adversities. Through each tender moment filled with emotion and powerful themes such as forgiveness, acceptance, and understanding, this book will make you laugh out loud one moment while bringing tears to your eyes in another. Grief is not an easy thing to defeat because it tends to rip a person apart by their very core. When Lance loses his wife after she gives birth to their daughter Emily, he has to do his own battle with grief in order to try to pull himself out to be there for his daughter. Lance loves his daughter very much. Sadly, his grief from losing his wife affects his ability to be there for her the way he should. At first, the problem was him having to pull himself out of the sadness of loss. Later, Lance makes the mistake of spoiling his daughter while being out of her life for large periods of time because of his position running the family company. This problem results in Emily acting out to get her father's attention. His family brings this problem to him multiple times instead of teaching his daughter that she needs to stop her bad behavior while trying to make more time for her. Lance fires Emily's bodyguards and her nanny every time she misbehaves in an extreme way, along with buying her more expensive things. Later, when Emily is older, Lance hypercorrects how he handles his relationship with her, making the situation worse. For example, Emily has no interest in running the family business. Instead of accepting where her career interests lie, he gets angry with her, causing the two of them to clash. When I was about to go to college, my dad wanted me to be an accountant. My mom wanted me to go into teaching. I wanted to do neither of those things. You know how my parents responded? They asked me what I wanted to do and did their best to figure out how to help me go into the field that I wanted to go into. I'm bringing this up because Lance has gotten so fearful of his daughter getting away from him. When he finally acknowledges that he overindulged her when she was little, he becomes so strict with her that, unlike my parents, he's not investing in who she is as a person, causing a rip in their relationship that could be fixed if they would both try to meet each other halfway. Even though Emily did grow up pretty darn spoiled, she still turned out to be a kind and caring person. But her problems with her father sadly lead her down the road of addiction. As I mentioned, Lance goes from overly indulging his daughter to being hyper strict. Their relationship deteriorates to the point Emily can't tolerate to be around her dad for even a minute, leading to her preferring to live with her aunt all the way in India, just to be far away from her father. Sadly, staying away from her dad for long periods of time does not fix things. There is still a deep hole in her heart from her sad relationship with her father. Emily's issue with her dad leads her to want to numb the pain. Unknown to her family, she starts using hard drugs so she does not have to feel the hurt inside her. Her desire to indulge in drugs leads to her entertaining more unhealthy behavior that quickly leads to huge repercussions for her whole family. I want to take a moment to talk about this story's villain. Why? He is a real jerk. Hudson is a businessman that Lance attempted to work with because he liked the ideas Hudson had for a project. Lance's family begged him not to work with Hudson. The guy may have good ideas that could make the business money. However, his behavior will most likely lead to all kinds of lawsuits. Lance eventually accepts that he can't work with Hudson and ends their business arrangement prematurely. Hudson sues Lance as a result for millions, and Hudson wins this lawsuit. So Hudson won, and Lance has to struggle to rebuild his company. You would think that Hudson would be satisfied. Sadly, I don't think this man knows how to be happy with a reasonable win. Intangible Hearts Forever is receiving the rating of 5 butterflies out of 5. This is a very sweet story and was entertaining all the way through. So my lovelies, I suggest you do yourself a favor and grab yourself a copy of this amazing story. Now, if you've made it to this portion of the video, thank you so much. And please give this video a like. Leave me a little comment. And if you have not yet, slap that subscribe button like it owes you money. And don't forget to give that little notification bell a ring. And with that, my lovelies, this video is a wrap. Now, if you please, come with me as we dance into a world of magic.